Fromage is a worker placement, area majority, and contract completion game released in 2024 and designed by Matthew O'Malley and Ben Rosette, with art by Pavel Zovba. The goal is to claim the most prestige through cheeses produced, sold, served, and delivered. And if you don't like cheese, I'm not sure we can be friends. To set up, slide the inserts based on the player count into the corresponding board quadrant and assemble those quadrants with the resource tile in a random configuration in the middle of the table. Place a random customer token on each space of the villa board. Shuffle the order cards and place them and the resource tokens in reach of all players. Each player chooses an available color and takes the corresponding cheese tokens, workers, and a random player board. Each player will start with the 2 resources of the type in the quadrant of the resource board clockwise from them and 1 resource of the type opposite them. All actions are taken simultaneously, so there is no first player. In Fromage, players are French cheesemakers competing to have the most successful creamery in the land. The game is played over a variable number of player turns. First, any ready workers are retrieved from the board, and then each player may take up to 1 make cheese action and up to 1 gather resource action on the quadrant in front of them. Once all players have completed their turn, the board is rotated 90 degrees clockwise and the game continues. Workers are ready to be retrieved when they are facing the player who owns them at the start of a turn. Simpler actions, low-aged cheese, smaller value resource gathering, will return workers at the beginning of the next turn, while more involved actions can take up to 3 full turns before they come back to you. Cheesemaking involves both a type, soft, hard, or blue, as well as an age, shown as bronze, silver, or gold for 1, 2, or 3 months respectively. The cheese made will require the corresponding worker for that type, as well as a commitment of time or turns on the rotating board. In practice, this means thinking a few turns ahead to an upcoming quadrant, and what worker you'll want to have available when it arrives. Made cheese tokens are made on the board even when retrieving workers. Gathering resources works similar, except that there is no specific worker type required. The resources include structures for improving the efficiency of your creamery, livestock to produce additional cheeses in a turn without a worker, fruit, a requirement of some spaces and an additional scoring option at game end, and orders, which can be completed when a specific cheese is produced for further endgame scoring. Once any player has placed their final cheese token on the board, the current turn will be the final one. Scoring is performed by venue/quadrant as well as for the noted items on the player boards. The player with the most prestige points wins, with ties broken by the most made cheese. Is it just me, or is cheese weird? At its most basic level, it's chiefly soured milk. Sure, we can call it fermentation, but it doesn't make it any less icky. Then why can't I stop eating it? Outside of the stinky cheeses, I'm not including Parmesan in this, leave it out, I have yet to meet a cheese that I didn't like. Swiss, mozzarella, brie, Gouda, provolone, Asiago, Camembert, Dubliner. I feel like I'm missing a big one, but whatever. This game doesn't get slowed down with the specifics of cheese crafting, but rather rides on a very interesting mechanic in the worker placement breed. What was that cheese again? It's entirely possible to overcommit your workers and wind up skipping an entire turn while waiting for them to reconvey. I feel like it's right there. Planning ahead is a key ingredient, and that can take you all the way. As a pun that worked better on paper. Consider that a peek behind the curd tin. Yeah, that's not a winner either. But not everything can be cheddar. Wait, is that? Nah, it can't be. Well, I'm afraid we don't get much Colford around these parts, sir. I'm always game.